The buttons of my coat were tangled in my hair. In doctor's office lighting, I didn't tell you I was scared. That was the first time we were there. Holy orange bottles, each night I prayed to you. Desperate people find faith, so now I pray to Jesus too. And I say to you,
being Asian, luckily I haven't dealt with it personally, but I've heard stories of friends and family that have faced some sort of racist act because of this, conservative ideal that the Chinese started this whole pandemic. And while there is validity to that, where the coronavirus did start in China, I feel like a lot of the racist acts that are happening are unwarranted for something that is eventually caused through direct contact. So it's just, fortunately, I haven't had to face that, but I've had friends and family that have, seen videos or told stories of facing some sort of oppression or racist act against them. Also, my aunt being in the healthcare system, being an essential healthcare worker at a hospital, it's definitely taken a toll on my family, where we're constantly worried for her well-being, but also taking care of her 7-year-old son, who is at risk of being in contact with her and catching the coronavirus, as with all the healthcare workers and their families. And lastly, being from a lower class socioeconomic status, it's definitely been tough on money, where we're more conscious of what we're purchasing and how much we're spending on things that are not necessary.
ooh, soon you'll get better. Ooh, soon you'll get better. Ooh, you'll get better soon. 'Cause you have to.
First of all gyms were closed, so I had to find a way to stay active and stay in shape without going to the gym. It was also hard because many of the parks around me closed, so I couldn't stay active by doing that outside. It was hard to find the motivation to keep me moving and to keep me from just staying at home watching TV all day. Another change that I had to go through was my work is closed and I'm not able to file for unemployment, so I'm not making any money right now.
I'm from New York City, and it is just absolutely crazy here. I work full-time in a supermarket, so I see all day long everybody's just panicked, on edge. Everybody's just terrified of getting corona. And actually, both of my parents tested positive for corona a few weeks ago, and it was just so scary for my brother and I, and obviously my parents, because there's only so much social distancing I could do within my own house, so much cleaning. And luckily my brother and I did not get corona, or if we got it, we were asymptomatic. But my location, being from the city, being in the same household as people, working with people who possibly have corona, is just so terrifying.
I'm no delusion when I see it in the mirror. You like the nicer nurses, you make the best of a bad deal. I just pretend it isn't real. I'll paint the kitchen neon, I'll brighten up the sky. I know I'll never get it, there's not a day that I won't try. And I say to you,
not being able to see people. I'm a pretty social person, and I enjoy the one-on-one interactions that I get to have with people, and with the pandemic I obviously haven't been able to do that outside of my family, and it's been, not being able to see people and going to classes every day has made it difficult to stay motivated for things.
There's been the stress of school too, and that has been very difficult because I've been staring at screens so much that I'm afraid it's going to have a huge impact on my eyes, and like straining my eyes. And then it's been pretty tough, but I'm grateful to be in the position that I am, and to have a house in my own room, and clean food and water and electricity and all that kind of stuff. So there is that.
Ooh, soon you'll get better. Ooh, soon you'll get better. Ooh, you'll get better soon. 'Cause you have to.
It's my senior year. I won't be able to have like the graduation or the prom that like I was expected to have, and just again like not being able to see my friends for the last few months that I have with them before we all go off to college.
I have anxiety and depression, so I don't like being alone, and I like to go out and do things to relieve my anxiety and my stress. I typically would go for drives, go for walks when I feel anxious. I'd go to the store and see new things, but during the pandemic, since everything is closed and it's unsafe to do so, I can't. So there's really no way to relieve my anxiety and my stress. I also love being at school. I love seeing my friends, I love learning. But since the pandemic is going on, we are online, and that brings a whole lot more stress to my life.
And I hate to make this all about me, but who am I supposed to talk to? And what am I supposed to do if there's no you?
Not being able to see my grandma. The retirement home she's in is under full lockdown, and she might be going into hospice soon, but they're still not letting us go visit her because they don't want to endanger the rest of the residents, which I understand in part, but at the same time, like, I've known her my whole life, and she's always been like my biggest supporter. So it really sucks that I can't see her until this whole quarantine is over, and probably even after, because I don't really know how much time she has left to be with us.
My family, like many others in the area, is self-employed and we own a business. So when statewide shutdown of non-essential businesses went into effect, we were left without income like many other families across the state and country. Many of the small family-run businesses in my area are also too small and have too few employees to receive government assistance to pay the employees they do have, and those that are self-employed are having issues getting access to unemployment. About 15% of Sullivan County residents live on or below the national poverty line, so this time without income for many families is super stressful, and they're being forced to live off of whatever savings they have left or their stimulus checks. To end this on a bit of a happier note, this time of uncertainty across the country has brought communities together everywhere, and I've been lucky enough to witness that in my hometown. The local food pantries have been doing events at local businesses across the county on a weekly basis to give to families in need, and people have been willing to help their neighbors more than ever before, and it's something really incredible to see despite the horrible circumstances in the world right now.
This won't go back to normal, if it ever was. It's been months of hoping, and I keep saying it because I have to. Ooh, you'll get better. Ooh, soon you'll get